Sports, episode 6. Billy Laughlin.
Cody Mitchell.
We're going to talk about, well, not that much this week.
Not that much at all.
Nothing happened.
This week we're going to tell you from start to finish, from kindergarten to the graduation of high school, the story of Bill Laughlin.
No, we ain't.
No, we're not. We're going to talk about sports.
We're going to talk about Joe Embiid.
And Kim Noah.
Oh, yeah. He just said about LeBron joining the Cavs, he wants to kick his
Expletive
as many times as possible. And Joe Kim Noah and LeBron aren't friends. It's not a mystery.
I think the only thing or person that Joe Kim Noah is friends with is the Boogeyman or something along that lines. Just by looking at him.
Joe Kim Noah's a big guy, but LeBron has more muscle, so you better watch out.
I have more muscle than Joe Kim Noah.
All right. Yeah.
I think Bubba has more muscle than him.
Boozer ain't there to help him out anymore.
Who's he got now? Gasol?
Well, Gasol
talk Spanish to him. Well, this week it's kind of more of a speculation and a comedy type deal. You know, Joe Kim Noah just said that about LeBron. Then we've got Embiid. Embiid needs to delete his Twitter. NBA, Adam Silver needs to tell Embiid to delete his Twitter or something because he's embarrassing himself.
Now
he went after Kim Kardashian.
First he went after LeBron. Yeah,
he tried to be friends with LeBron, and then he blocked him on Twitter, and that just, crushed LeBron. You know it did. So then he tries to talk to Kim Kardashian, and then finds out, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were married, and then he blocked her too. So now, in a tweet, automatically, he went out and said, pretty much called Rihanna sexy, and he asked her out to dinner. We don't think he's got a response back yet. And at this point, he's probably blocked her on Twitter as well. So,
who do you think he's going to go for next?
That's what we're going to vote on. Who do you think is the next victim of Joel Embiid?
Megan Fox.
You're going to think Megan Fox?
I think she's with the Russell.
I'm going to go with Vivian Fox. I'm going to go with Vivian Fox.
She's going to take... He's going to try to take Swaggy P's girl. I'm so fancy.
Oh, Iggy Azalea?
I don't know. Andre Iguodala.
Nick Swaggy P. Yeah. My vote's for Vivian Fox. That's who I'm going to go for. So
maybe he just needs to stay with his mom. Speaking of Rihanna, did you hear about the football player, Ray Rice, whooping his woman?
Yeah, I did. And he only got a 2-game suspension.
What do you think about that?
I think it's not enough. I think that's ridiculous.
How much you think?
A season.
The whole season?
At minimum, a whole season. I mean, you assault a woman, assault your wife. Is his wife or his girlfriend?
His fiance.
Fiance. You assault her and you get a 2-game suspension. That's nowhere near enough. And then Justin Blackman just got caught again for drugs. Drugs, gets a full season. And he's more than likely he's going to be suspended indefinitely again. But, then you got him who, assaults his wife and he only gets a 2-game suspension. I don't think it's enough. I think it's ridiculous, and I don't think it's...
Well, Skip Bayless said 8 games at minimum, but I was sitting here thinking...
Minimum, yeah. Maybe at the very minimum, but I think a season.
I was sitting here thinking... Well, last night I was thinking, well, what does this have to do with football? This is his personal life, but then again, I can't say that. Donald Sterling, same thing.
You can't condone players going home and beating their wives.
There's a contract,
because they didn't get as many carries in the game before. I mean, you can't do that. That's not.
He knocked her out.
I mean, this show didn't go as good as I thought it did. So I'm just gonna go home and beat my girlfriend. I mean, you can't have that. You can't. I mean, you can't sit back and condone something like that. And with the NBA, with Donald Sterling and racism is the same thing. There's no room for racism in any sport. And there's no room for domestic violence against women in any sport as well. That's just...
I say give him the whole season.
I mean, look at Richie Incognito. I mean... there's a fine line between rookie hazing, and playing with a rookie and being, not stalkish, but abusive. And Justin Martin's a big dude, but
So was Incognito.
Richie Incognito might have crossed that line. I mean, he took rookie hazing and took it into abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. I think
that's why I just like basketball more than football, because football players are just they have a different life. They have football, and then you don't know what they're doing.
They pretty much have football, because I mean, when their game is over on Sundays, they've got the whole week to get themselves back to health to be able to play again.
No, I'm talking about criminal life.
Oh yeah,
who's the dude who was on the Patriots a couple years ago? He talking about criminal activity.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
It's a double homicide.
They're just different people than NBA. Like NBA hazing, they'll probably go make the rookies go buy cookies. They might make them carry a Door Explorer backpack.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing in the NFL.
I think one team last year, the whole team went out to a really expensive restaurant. It was like over $1,000 bill, and they left it to the rookie. So
your first paycheck's
$15 million for a lottery pick. So yeah. Go ahead. Here's $1,000. Yeah, Tim Tebow. They shave the very top of their head and leave the sides. Tim Tebow did that his rookie year in Denver.
They a couple years back in the Phoenix, they took the dude's car apart, and that's one of the worst things I've seen. But yeah, it's just bullying.
Yeah,
Incognito was a bully.
But anyway, Ray Rice. He needs more than...
It defines the NFL Constitution, which I'm sure there is one, just like there's an NBA Constitution. I'm sure an MLB
It's kind of like a code of conduct, basically. We touched on the Donald Sterling thing a little bit right there, and we're going to go into it more. Me, personally, I've said this to you, and this may be, selfish, stupid, but I personally would love to see this whole thing end with the Clippers players getting their unconditional release, granted their free agency. And I'm sure if they're allowed that, if Donald Sterling is still in control of that team, they'll leave that money on the table with the contracts.
I don't think so.
The money they've already collected through the years, they'll keep it. But whatever they have left, they'll leave it and go get their money somewhere else. But Chris Paul and Doc...
He can take them to court. It's a contract.
But if NBA grants, and that's what I'm saying, if NBA grants them their free agency, if they say I don't want to play, and the NBA grants them their free agency,
and they'll all go to Cleveland.
Yeah, and sign 1 year veteran minimum contracts just to all play in Cleveland. No,
they need to do something.
Doc Rivers and Chris Paul said they've discussed it together, and both said Doc Rivers said that he wants out, or he will not coach in the beginning of the season if Donald Sterling is still in, even if he's in percentage points control of the franchise, he will not coach. And Chris Paul also said that he and the other players have talked, and they said that they won't play. They don't want to play if he's still in control, and that's just in the Clippers organization. That's not counting other players around the league. That would LeBron did say last year.
There's no room for racism.
LeBron said last year that if Donald Sterling is still an owner by come this season, he won't play either. He said that in the playoffs last year. So I mean, what happens?
I think they're being selfish.
Who's
the
being
players?
Selfish? I don't think they are.
I think that
they were
this one hateful racist man. They're going to not give the fans and the people who love them what they want.
But and if you think about it this way, they should get what they want, or not like that. But they're the ones that's in the association that has to deal with it. So they should not have to play in that association that has racism in it, basically. I mean, and I don't think they should have to play. Yeah, it's taken away from the fans. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I don't think that they should take it away.
I understand.
I don't think that they should have to play under those circumstances.
But this Clipper team, they're close to a championship.
They are.
You can't. Chris Paul don't want nothing more than an NBA championship. I don't know if he is willing to throw it away just because of some dude.
I think at this point it's more
as a pride.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
We'll have to see.
They don't want to win a championship for him because that makes him more money.
Sure.
I mean, that's
Or they're already worth $2 billion.
And then all their sponsorships backing out. I mean, it's
No, dude, still
You know,
was
I mean,
about
at
a team
this
with $2
point-
billion.
and every time they think that they're a little bit closer, Donald Sterling files another kind of grievance or another lawsuit or something that prolongs it. And I'm no judicial expert by any means, but I don't see this thing being resolved by the start of the season.
People aren't going to like what I'm about to say here, but I know honestly, he just needs to be dead today. He needs to die off.
But then, if he does, then Shelly, his wife, becomes the owner of the team.
And they say they don't want to play for her either, but she
Nobody
did
in the family.
no wrong.
Nobody in the family.
That's just it's a little bit ignorant on their behalf.
They want that. Well, they think that if it's still in the family, he can still have control of it. They don't want any part of that
That's why she
family.
did.
They don't want any part of that family to have anything to do with the team.
Well, Lakers don't want no bus family right now, but they're stuck with the buses.
Well, pretty soon, the Knicks and the Lakers are going to have a holy union. Anyway, so
I don't think anybody's on. I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see if they sit out, but I hope they get this resolved because I'm a huge basketball fan and I'll cry.
I don't want, and it could end up being something as the Clippers players can just forfeit. They can. I mean, they could walk onto the floor and they could just say, "We're not going to play." We forfeit the game to the Trailblazers or whoever they're playing.
Your team free guaranteed wins.
Yeah.
Give my team 2 guaranteed free wins.
So I mean, they could do that, and then nobody really is harmed except the Clippers organization themselves. And then the only downside about them getting their free agency is, Blake Griffin is a max contract player. CP is.
You said he isn't?
I wasn't done yet.
Blake Griffin isn't?
I said he is.
Okay.
Blake Griffin's a max contract player. DeAndre Jordan is close.
He deserves about 5.
He's not there, but he's
10
close.
years.
Chris Paul,
Max
my
player.
opinion, I don't think he's worth $100 million. I really don't.
For 5 years?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 18, 17,
Best
16
point
a
guard in
year.
the league? Best point guard position? Best in
Is
his
Rondo.
position? Well, yeah, that could have been argued 3 years ago.
3 years ago he was
Rondo.
in New Orleans. Right now it's Westbrook, Rondo,
I'm talking about
Lillard, Kyrie, and then Chris Paul.
what was the MVP rankings this year? Durant, LeBron, Chris Paul. I still think Tony Parker's the best.
How many
point
votes
guard.
did Chris Paul get? 1.
Everybody wanted
2.
LeBron and Durant to win.
Exactly.
No, I think
Oh, I'm sorry. You forgot. I'm sorry, but I forgot.
Tony Parker.
I forgot about Tony Parker. I'm sorry.
he's the only point guard in the league that has a Finals MVP.
Yeah. So my opinion is Westbrook, Rondo. Yeah, Westbrook is the best point guard.
Over Tony Parker?
Yeah.
They got to beat the Spurs for him to get that.
Westbrook, then Parker, then Rondo, then Lillard.
I hope Rondo comes back. I love Rondo.
I do too.
I'm glad
He is what the point guard position used to be. And
the
him and
Black
Tony
Bob
Parker. He's the him and Tony Parker are like that. But anyway, as I was saying, in all honesty, if they all got all these players, where could they go? They would have to go, and signed 1 year, 5, whatever cap space he's. I'm sure any team would take it.
Milwaukee Bucks, they can just all go there and they waive all their players.
Yeah,
Besides Jabari Parker.
Charlotte got some cap space. It's possible they could go
Jamal
to places
Crawford
like
can
that. But the other question is, do they want to? Do they want to split up?
No, because
Maybe they like
Chris
to play
Paul,
good.
Blake Griffin, they love Los Angeles, man. They love it there. That's their
Well, I'm
home.
saying no. Do the players want to split up?
No, they really like each other.
Yeah.
They-
It really is a good chemistry. They just, my opinion, take the Clippers franchise, take it to Seattle
Or St. Louis, you said.
or St. Louis. Yes, St. Louis Clippers or Seattle
I
Clippers
love me some Jamal Crawford.
or the Super Clippers, the Clipper Sonics.
St. Louis. I don't know. We'll see.
And they can't just disband the franchise for a whole season, and then it's going to be a process that Adam Silver is going to be tested in his very first year. So we'll see what happens. Check out part 2.